A warm welcome to all the listeners. Listen to the Blue Horse. Dr.C.K.N. is in conversation with Pooja. I'm sure you'll enjoy this session, and I'm sure it's going to be some food for your thought.
Welcome back. How are we today, Mr. Blue Horse?
I'm too good.
PMA doing well? I love this. I really like it, PMA. Because all I've been hearing all my life is PMS and overreacting and PMS and all that. PMA is so much better a term. Makes me feel good also.
Positive mental attitude you were talking about. PMA, where you heard PMA?
In one of our sessions, few days
Before
back.
that?
Never. All I've heard is PMS.
PMX.
PMS.
What is PMS?
You don't know PMS? Oh wow, I'm going to teach Mr. Blue Horse.
What? What is PMS?
The menstrual syndrome, like how females overreact saying, are you PMSing? Right?
That one, okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've actually heard being used a lot. PMA, I've never heard much. So I'm like kind of stuck on that term for some time now. So let's move on to...
Huge amount of books, huge amount of articles are there about PMA in the internet. You can go and read them.
I will.
Educate yourself.
Will do. Now, all of us...
What are you going to tell me today?
Today, yeah, the very today's problem, the climate conditions, the differential weather changes, I don't know. Part of our states which had a lot of water is running out of water. Part of states which were dry has a lot of water. Everywhere, everything is changing. Climatic conditions, weather conditions. I was just wondering, does it actually have an effect on our health? What is the impact of all this changing climate and weather? Apart from the food we take and all that, generally, what is the long-lasting impact of all these changing climatic conditions or weather conditions on our health?
Yeah, weather conditions is something which is a normal phenomenon of the nature, which we have been designed. Nature creating the human species on Earth, or any living species on Earth, including the plant kingdom, the insect kingdom, the microorganisms, and all that stuff. It has designed all the living species to do automatic adjustment as the weather changes.
But now it's so abrupt, right? All the weather we are facing are not the ones we've seen in the nature. Like
what do you mean by abrupt?
Extreme heat, extreme cold, suddenly there's no... the change of seasons are so abrupt, so extreme.
No, it is not something suddenly happening. It is a normal phenomenon of the weather pattern. See, we have no records of more than 150, 180 years.
That's true.
So, according to the ancient Tamil, one small cycle is 60 years.
Oh.
Okay. One cycle is 60 years. They have names for all these 60 years. Specific names for it.
Right.
6 cycle is one mega cycle. That is 360 years.
Phew.
Okay. Because your weather conditions are based on the planetary positions. Okay.
All right.
Now, the first 60 year, say the first year name is Blue Horse. The second year name is Pooja. Right? The first 60 years and the second 60 years are not the same.
Okay.
Because the planetary position doesn't match.
All right.
The number 1 year of the first cycle, 60-year cycle, the number 1 year of the second cycle is not the same.
Okay.
The 7th cycle is the same.
Oh, it starts again from 1.
Because the planetary positions are coming to that fixing. The first year, the first cycle and the 7th cycle will be the same. So 360 years we don't have
record.
So we don't know. We think that it is wild, global warming and all that kind of thing. In my books, whatever activities that for burning of fossil fuels and burning of coal to produce electricity and all that kind of thing, it cannot warm the earth. It will not warm the earth.
Yeah?
Mankind cannot warm the earth. You burn everything in this world.
Really?
You cannot warm the earth. No.
Oh.
It will not. Nature has got every circuit to observe it.
Oh. So this is like an independent pattern you're saying? Oh.
No, whatever these people are saying, the scientific community is saying, that it is not correct.
How do you say so?
Nature is immeasurable. You cannot read nature. You have not come to the level with your science to read nature. Melting, see, I'll tell you something. Very, very simple. If you think science is everything, for years they were saying, forest is the main source of rain. Right? In 1887, 1888, 1889, 1900, 4 years, continuous drought. People were about to die. No food, no agriculture. At that time, Buckingham started this project of Buckingham Canal and gave job. People just wanted food. They made that canal. In 1900, we had so much of forest. Where was the rain? What is your science? You tell me now.
Okay.
Now what's happening now, ma? Plants are giving us oxygen, right?
Right.
So there's so much of CO2 in the air. CO2 is what? O2 is oxygen, C is carbon. Carbon binding with 2 oxygen atom becomes CO2. The leaves absorb CO2 in photosynthesis.
Yes.
And take the carbon, leave the O2. Okay?
Yeah.
They break the carbon, take it, send the O2 out. What we are breathing is O2, the covalent bond of 2 oxygen atoms, what we breathe. Not single atom.
Right.
The oxygen available in the air is only approximately around 20%. And that oxygen is O2, not O.
Yeah.
O means single atom. Single atom is not, it's very, turbulent, like.
Pure.
It's not good. No, it's not pure. O3 is ozone.
Okay.
Single oxygen, they won't call it as O1. They call it as O. It's not good for us. So O2 only we breathe. And the O2 is what the plants absorb the CO2 and leave the O2. And suppose if you are going to, produce 1 acre of paddy, you're going to get 35 to 40 bags of paddy. So much of rice inside the paddy.
Right.
It's a starch material. It's carbohydrate. Carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. Where is that carbon has come from? Beyond that, if you see that you are burning, still making, CO2 very higher, by reading the volume of CO2 in the air, right? All that kind of mathematical calculation, okay, will fail. You cannot bring everything and anything under mathematical calculations. All analysis which you make using your enormous tool of mathematics will lead to paralysis.
Paralysis.
Your analysis lead to paralysis.
It rhymes.
Whether you like it or not.
How?
Many brain in the human population thinks that we have achieved everything in science. You have not achieved anything in science. You are making the human life more and more difficult.
Yeah, that I agree.
And science is responsible for it.
Yeah.
Okay? I am not a philosopher here to talk about equality and all that stuff. But every human should get their food at least.
Basic.
Which doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Then what is your science and education? Weather conditions are not like the way you think. It happened on its own. You neither stop it nor manipulate it. You have no powers. Right? If the humanity with the help of modern science has to come to a level where they can manipulate the weather conditions, it becomes a warfare.
With nature.
Yeah. I will not allow the rain on that country. Finish, it's gone. Over, no?
Yeah. True. That's it.
So we have yet to understand the oceans.
But in a way, now that you told that,
The stability of the land is based on the stability of the oceans.
Yeah.
We have yet to see many, marine biology inside the ocean.
Yeah, a lot.
But we are going and searching for something in the skies where there's nothing there. Right? So how a human body adjusts to weather conditions it is such a phenomenal machine, a live human machine, the human body. It can adjust to anything and everything.
On its own.
Yeah. Every circuit is given inside. See, I'll tell you something. Human body is subjected to all kinds of abnormality, which we call it as a diseases or infection or whatever it is. Body has all the mechanisms to recorrect it on its own. That circuits are also given inside. You don't need medicines to recorrect yourself. You allow the human body without food and only water.
And it heals you.
It will recorrect itself.
Wow.
So we don't, try to, manipulate ourselves for weather conditions. What do? We don't do anything, right? So, yeah, the microorganism part of the environment goes through various changes when the season shifts.
Okay.
At that time, we get infections.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, weather conditions do help the human body. If you take Western Hemisphere and all that, there are flu which can stay as long as 21 days. Heavy fever.
Which is not the case for us also post-COVID.
Not in the
Kind
such
of
flu.
extended, no?
No, I'm talking about, no. COVID is something totally different.
No, post-COVID, I've seen the flu, which used to go about in 5-6 days for us, is extending now, the symptoms and the effects.
Yeah, so
lasting cough and
when
everything.
the summers are very hot, when the summer shower comes, it brings, because the atmosphere is, it is not raining for a long period of time, 4-5 months, 6 months. So the atmospheric pollution is so high.
Yeah,
So the rainwater coming down,
all the pollutants.
watching the atmospheric pollution, it's so much of carbonic acid in that, it's not good for us. Getting wet in those rains. And when such summer shower comes, it kicks up a lot of, microorganism imbalance. That you get into a lot of virus fevers and infections and whatnot. Right?
Right.
When the heat is too much during summers, everybody knows the sunstroke may set in.
Yeah.
If you are,
Outside.
not equipped yourself and standing too long, exposing yourself to sunlight which is more than 40 to 45 degrees. Like, if you take, people in Delhi, the summers are so dry,
Yeah.
the temperature reaches 45, 48 and all that.
Yeah.
They withstand. For you and me, who are living in, in the
Humid.
tropical region close to the, ocean, you and me, we cannot take the Delhi heat. We get completely dehydrated
Yeah.
and we start bleeding through our nose.
All right.
Right? So, geographically, people who are born in that area are equipped by nature to withstand the weather conditions of that area. If you take people from Siberia,
And put them here.
in deep Siberia, you see a layer of fat will be there on beneath the skin.
For the cold.
A good thickness of half an inch or more of fat to withstand the cold. If you go there, you cannot stand their food.
Yeah.
They eat only fish and meat, that's all.
Yeah.
For nearly 7-8 months. No carbs. Their body is designed, tuned by the nature to withstand the weather conditions of that particular geography, which we are not used to it.
Sure.
Suppose if you go and live with Eskimos and eat their food, within 1 week you may die.
Yeah.
You can't.
Correct.
They are people who are, used to living in ice, which we cannot. They were brought up there.
Yeah.
So seasonal changes, weather condition changes do affect the human body, which we don't know what adjustment is happening inside.
Automatically.
Yeah. All that we know is only one thing: getting every day, taking bath, getting dressed, eating, going, working, coming, eating,
Sleeping.
onto your screens all the time, sleeping. None of us we realize the importance of anything.
Yeah.
Weather conditions has its own impact over the human body, but the human body has got all kinds of circuits and technologies inside, which it will adapt itself to that particular condition.
Relief. Yeah.
You don't need to do anything. Suppose if there is a situation where there are certain things has to be done as the season changes, that will be the biggest business in the world. Everybody will be queuing for that. Winter is coming, I have to go and take this injection. Okay?
Yeah.
They will make it into a big business racket.
Next $1 billion venture.
Yeah, yes.
Or trillion.
Yeah. I normally don't understand one thing. I'm not making a joke out of it, but I mean it. But I don't understand. It is beyond my head.
Yeah.
You have no cure for a disease, but you have a medicine to stop the disease coming in, the vaccines. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, if you don't know the origin, how is the vaccine?
No, I don't understand.
But polio vaccine was effective.
See, this
right?
is what I've said. They made a biggest campaign in 1970s and 80s, 60s, 70s and 80s. And in 90s, early part of 90s, this campaign was done. And the UK government said measles are completely eradicated.
But polio is, right?
Wait a minute. Now measles have come back to the United
Yeah.
Kingdom population.
Yeah.
So what is that you have done? You tell me. I don't understand. When you don't have a cure for a disease, how can you prevent a disease setting in? You are saying that by triggering inside the immunology. What do you know about the immunology? What you have studied about the immunology so far? You can disable the immunology by giving immunosuppressants
Yeah.
to retain the organs which are transplanted inside, not to get rejected by the human body. Most of the rejection is done by the microbes.
Right.
We don't understand that. This microorganism world of the human body, the microbiome is so big and it is so small. The behavior of these microorganisms is impossible for you to study. So fragmentation approach of separating things and studying will not help us. What sort of an impact weather system have on a human body? We have no much detailed studies on all those things because we don't bother about it because human body adapt to every situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose a person who lived in 1500s,
Yes.
500 years ago, and that human cell has to come into play. Suppose somebody has slept, is intact in the age of 30 in 1525. He wakes up today.
Wow.
He will die within few days
Yeah.
because of so much of pollution,
I know.
which he has not seen.
Can't breathe.
You understand?
Yeah.
You cannot breathe first of all.
Yeah.
He gets suffocated for breathing because there was no petrol which was burned that day.
Yeah. Any fuel.
So weather conditions or something, if you say that it is all getting rapidly changing, human body will adjust to it.
Okay.
If you think the human body cannot adjust to it, then there's going to be a business house for it.
Either way, it's
Oh
good.
my God, come into my building, you will be safe. It will be something like that.
Yeah.
It is somebody who started, say, suppose some old person died in your family. Okay, I will not name this country. You can go and pay money, big money. They will put him in a coffin and put it in minus 85 degrees in that building.
Preserve.
You have to pay every year some money.
But for what?
Wait a minute. Tomorrow, okay, say for example, it is somebody's father, a girl's father, and that girl is around 40 years old when her father died, and that father had a grandchild, a daughter,
Right.
this girl's daughter. She's around 14, and she grows big and get married, and she give birth to a child which is 6 years old. That 6 years old child see the photograph of that grandfather, great grandfather, and say, can I see him? It's a child which is asking a genuine question. Do I see him only in the photograph or I can see him?
For
So
that?
they take the child and go to the building. You have to pay money for it again, little bit. They will make you sit down in a private room. They will go wheel that
What's the
coffin
point?
and
What's
bring
the
in
point?
and keep it there. The child will see it for some time.
But that's not a live human. There is no essence to it.
But still, I'm seeing the body of my great grandfather.
Strange.
It is a big business which is going on in a glorious manner now.
Without the soul, there is nothing. It's
Yeah.
just empty.
It's all crazy part of the human brain. Somebody is making a good glorious business out of it. You appreciate that. Okay. Likewise, if there is going to be a technique tomorrow that we readjust yourself whenever the season changes, then that's going to be a glorious business tomorrow. The entire world population will be rushing in, standing in queues, taking jabs and coming out. So body has every mechanism to adjust itself to any weather condition. It does not need your science. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a good session. Very interesting. I think it was an interesting talk. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.